away from me. I looked and I was like, oh my God, it's 8 o'clock and I was supposed to go live at 8. So I do apologize. Um, my fiance was messing with the lights back there too. So he was trying to get the lighting. We've been working on lighting. So if you are a subscriber to my channel, you're probably aware that I got diagnosed with Omicron. I actually got diagnosed the last Friday. So today's day 8 for me. So I haven't left the house. I've been quarantining. Currently, I'm working from home. So I've still been working. We're both just trying to get better. So the first few days were really rough for me. Today, the symptoms I've been having is shortness of breath and palpitations. I just feel like this heaviness in my chest, but it is what it is. I mean, what can you do? Um, what else? So yeah, I mean, I've just been taking it one day at a time. So today, like I said, I've been going live weekly, answering common questions that people in the nursing profession have. So if you have any question that you would like me to answer, feel free to chime in. I go live for you because it's a way for me to give you instant feedback or a video on a subject that you desire. When I was in nursing or when I was pursuing nursing, I really wish I'd had someone that was a few years ahead of me that would have been able to help me out. That being said, today, without having like an agenda, today I will talk about if you should even become a nurse practitioner. Is being a nurse practitioner saturated? So there's definitely when I told a colleague of mine that I was going to go to school to be a nurse practitioner, the reaction from this person was like, "Why are you going to do that? It's oversaturated. You won't be able to get a job." And there were a few people that kind of told me the same thing, and they said like, "Oh, you're not going to get a job. You'll see. It's a waste of time. Blah blah blah." But for me, I've always been a proponent. I'm delusionally sometimes optimistic with what I can achieve. Some might say I have delusions of grandiosity, to be perfectly frank with you. Like, I believe a little bit too much in myself. Like, I believe that if I want something, I'll be like, yeah, I'll be able to get a job. No sweat. Like, I can do it. Right. Have I always been able to get everything I want? No. But having that kind of self confidence has helped me. If once I have a goal in my mind, it's helped me say, you know what, I want to go for this goal. I want to achieve so and so and so. So, and then I accomplish it usually. Of course, I'm not perfect. I've had setbacks, I've had failures. So if I breathe heavy again, I've been having the shortness of breath today because I got COVID. So that being said, I decided to become a nurse practitioner. I was done with bedside. I wanted to make better money. I wanted to have more. I wanted to increase my scope of practice. You know, as a nurse, there are certain things that you cannot do. And there are phenomenal physicians. Okay. There's phenomenal physicians, very knowledgeable physicians. I will start with that. But then there's also physicians that, frankly, I don't know how they got through med school. Right. So when I got to a point where, you know, when you're first starting out, you're nervous. There's a huge learning curve, right? Even as a nurse. So I got to the point where I was telling the physician, like, giving the SBAR report saying this patient is here for this, blah, 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 you know, do you recommend this? Or a physician would come to me and say, like, well, what should we do? And I was pretty much just providing the plan of care laid out to the physician like this. I said, you know what, maybe it's time I go back to school. Maybe it's time I go to school. And now I'm the one that is creating, hola, ¿cómo está? I said, maybe it's time I go back to school and I start creating the treatment plans for patients and I start diagnosing patients and I start prescribing medication. And that was what propelled me to want to become a nurse practitioner, as well as being perfectly frank with you. Guys do it all the time. Guys can chase money, but girls can't chase money. So I wanted a better income. I wanted more opportunity. And I have never been more happy with my decision. I'm so happy that I went back to school to be an NP. There's so many opportunities as a nurse practitioner. So if you truly want to become a nurse practitioner, that being said, if you truly want to become a nurse practitioner, then do it. Go for it. Figure out the logistics in regards to how you're going to get a job, step by step. If you haven't even gotten into a program and you're worried about, will I be able to get a job? Will I make it? Go step by step. Of course, there are times when you should be a little bit more methodical and careful before jumping into something, but I tend to be impulsive. Again, that's part of the ADHD. I'm impulsive. I jump into things. I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to do it and figure it out. And then I either fly or fall flat on my face, right? So I did it. I went step by step, went through the courses, the clinicals, blah, blah, blah. And then when I graduated, then I was like, all right, now how am I going to get a job? What am I going to do? So I think sorry, I'm going to may cough or have to clear my throat again because I've been sick. But personally, it was fairly easy for me to get my first NP job. I'm impatient. Did I have to submit maybe even hundreds of applications before I got my first interview? Yes. I'm not great. I forget the timeline, right? But I would say it took me maybe a month to get my first NP job. I graduated in August, and I didn't take the board exam. I studied for a month. So by October I was working as an NP. I wouldn't say just take any job out there, like, have some standards, but you have to find the sweet middle ground, right? Your standards can't be up here as a new grad NP. So somewhere in the middle of, I have no standards and my standards are extremely high. You want your standards to be somewhere in the middle, right? In Florida, right? On my videos about how much an NP makes, oh my goodness, all the feedback. I make that much money as an RN. Oh, I make that much as an RN in Florida. Okay. My fiance is an RN. I make more than him, right? So in Florida, maybe in New York, yes, what I'm making as an NP in Florida, you're making as an RN in New York. Okay. But what I mean by that is right off the bat in Florida, you're probably not going to be making 100,000 a year, right? You're probably not. You may have to settle for around 80K a year. And then as you get more experience, you can ask for a raise. You can ask for more money. I chose, and again, I applied and applied and applied. When I finally got an interview, it was for a pain doctor, an interventional pain management physician. Now, like I said, I didn't want to work for a doctor that is a pill mill. I would never compromise my ethics just for a job. The doctor that I interviewed with, I respected him very much. He was an excellent physician. And when I say interventional pain management, all that means is that he has different treatments for patients that are in pain, whether it be a discectomy or steroid injections or radiofrequency ablation. So it was my job to see these patients, determine what they would benefit most from, talk to them. He also did like spinal cord implants, a variety of things, right? And of course, we did just prescribe pain medication, right? But he was definitely not a pill mill. And I learned a lot from him. I worked for him for 3 months. I kept applying because I didn't want to stay in pain management. I was a new grad. I needed to get experience in family practice. So what I did was I kept applying, and a position opened up at a clinic, at a primary care clinic. And I left that. I put in my 2 weeks with that physician after working for him for 3 months. And I started working at the clinic. I've been there for the past 2 years. Since then, because of COVID, I'm working on a new initiative. I've been working remotely. I've been very fortunate with that. And now that I'm working remotely, I absolutely love it. And that's where I want to stay. I'm an introvert. I'm okay with never leaving the house other than to go work out. I don't need to leave my house. I don't like to party. I don't really have friends. I'm an introvert. So I love telemedicine. That's where my focus is going to be shifting. I mean, if this is something that you want to do, if you want to be an NP, then go for it. The only little caveat I would say is make sure you pick a specialty that that's what you're passionate about. So don't just do family practice if you want to work in an emergency department, right? Do like an emergency nurse practitioner program, they have those. Or if you want to do NICU, like do neonatal nurse practitioner. So just pick your niche, and also make sure your school is accredited. And I, again, like to save money where I can save money. I would prefer to pick a school that is more affordable, such as a state university versus a private university that you are going to be in debt until you die, right? That's not what I want to do. What is super hot right now is Psych NP. So, that being said, I hope that gives you some insight into, should you even become an NP? Yes, if that's really what you're passionate about, if that's what you care about, if you want to help people, if you're patient, compassionate, and you actually want to help heal people and get people better, then go for it, right? It's not rainbows and butterflies. It's not always a walk in the park. It's not always easy. It has different challenges. I feel like it's physically a lot easier than bedside nursing. Like physically being an RN is so hard, mentally too. But at least being an NP, you remove the physical aspect from it, and now you just have the mental aspect. You're thinking a lot. It's very mentally taxing, but so is being an RN. I don't think that being an NP is superior or requires any more intelligence. It's just it's like putting on a different hat. It's just going a different avenue, a different path. But anyways, so thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys next week, Wednesday at 8. And if you have any questions, make sure that you leave them below and I will answer them next week. Until next time.